evening. My name is Jorell Williams. I'm a student of Arthur Levy, and today I will not be singing Liebenhassen Hohensagen, but I will be singing Mozart's Le Nozze di Figaro, Hai già vinta la causa, vedrò mentr'io sospiro. Hai già vinta la causa, cosa sento? In coraggio io carea. Perfidi, io voglio di tal modo punirvi, a piacer mio la sentenza sarà. Ma se pagasse la vecchia pretendente, pagarla in qual maniera? E poi vi Antonio, che all'incognito Figaro ricusa di dargli una nipote in matrimonio. Coltivando l'orgoglio di questo mentecatto, tutto giova un raggiro. Il colpo è fatto. Vedrò mentr'io sospiro, felice un servo mio. E un ben chi van desio, ei posseder dovrà. Vedrò per man d'amore, unita al viglio getto, in me destò un affetto, che per me poi non ha, che per me poi non ha. Vedrò mentr'io sospiro, felice un servo mio. Vedrò un ben ch'io desio, ei posseder dovrà. Vedrò per man d'amore, unita al viglio getto, in me destò un affetto, che per me poi non ha, che per me poi non ha. Vedrò, 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 a non lasciarti in pace, non fu questo contento. Tu non nascesti audace, tu non nascesti audace, per dare a me tormento, e forse ancor per ridere di mia infelicità. C'ha la speranza sola delle vendette mie, quest'anima consola, e giubilar mi fa, e giubilar mi fa. Ah, che lasciarti in pace non vo questo contento. Tu non nascesti audace, per dare a me tormento, e forse ancor per ridere di mia infelicità. C'ha la speranza sola delle vendette mie, quest'anima consola, e giubilar mi fai giubilar, e giubilar mi fai giubilar, e giubilar mi fa, e giubilar mi fa, e giubilar mi fa.
The old Mephisto laugh at the end.
Yes.
Yeah. I gotcha. Right. How old are you?
24.
24. Wonderful. And how long have you been here?
3 years. This is my third year. Professional studies.
Bravo. Where are you from?
Brentwood, Long Island.
Long Island. Oh,
Yes.
long trip.
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving was fun for you.
Yes.
Were you in the hall for any of the other singers?
No, I was currently in the rehearsal for the opera in December.
All right. Good. Okay. Well, then you haven't heard anything we've been talking about, which is interesting. You know, which glacier do I go up on the mountain? We could probably get a long ways by working on the character. We could probably get a long ways about talking about Le Nozze di Figaro, but I think maybe we should just grab the tiger by its tail and get on a couple of technical issues that might make your life longer and easier.
Okay.
I think, just putting it right on the table, that you sing with a lot shorter voice than what's actually inside of you. I feel like you take a breath and it goes into a place that you want to ignite, rather than it being all of your body or all of the resonance of all of your head kind of releasing. Do you feel like your voice releases when you sing?
From point to point, yes.
From point to point?
Yes.
By the way, how was this rendition? I mean, how
I've done better.
Yeah, well, okay, we've all done better. But what, have you been working on something specifically, or what are you trying to do?
Just lining up the voice and singing it better, more with dynamics and character-wise, just trying to do less as opposed to going over the board.
Always a very good idea, and you could even do more less. Do less, be more.
Okay.
But that's a different thing, and it was fine within the realms. I've seen guys come out and act the heck out of this aria, which is not a good idea. I'm not. When I say about the shortness of voice, I think what I would suggest to you is that, I'm trying to think of things we've talked about earlier today. I think one of the biggest things that I hear is a kind of standing, being straight. You're pretty solid on your feet, but I feel you take a breath, and breath is somehow like gasoline in a motor, and it comes back out at you at a place where you think you have to vibrate, and the voice goes this way. And to me, that's too short. I think that the breath I think your breath has to be thought of as what you need to make yourself heard. You know? If I take breaths and go, Vedro, mentr'io, sospiro, I'm essentially going to be all about the vocal mechanism, right? We talked a little bit earlier about inhaling. I think for the most part, singers don't pay enough attention to their inhaling system or mechanism as versus to their exhaling. And I feel, maybe that's the best way to start. I feel like you've got a lot of whoosh voice coming, that I'm not getting a balance of the inhaling. I'm not feeling, Vedro, mentr'io. I'm getting, Vedro, mentr'io, sospiro. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever work on that? Does
Yes.
that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
How do you work on it?
Just
By breathing more in your nose or
deeper breaths.
That's interesting. You know, I wouldn't worry about the depth of your breath. I think, in fact, you could be stronger in your abdomen, and maybe where the breath lives could remain more constant. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what's going, hada, you know, that everything, because if we take always concern about ourselves with this deep breath, we tend to let the abdomen go, and everything goes down. You can feel that pull here. Mm-hmm. You don't want that. You want that to stay out. Vedro, mentr'io, sospiro, felice un servo mio. You hear that? Feel that stay out? Mm-hmm. You want to keep that constant. Do you think about that?
Yeah.
But when I think of breathing deep, I think of maintaining the core muscles. If I think of breathing deep and I extend here, I'm going to collapse in, right? So maybe what I want you to just stay on the voice more, and as you sing let's just start with the Vedro, mentr'io, so more of an up one, more of this literally up in here. You don't breathe much with your nose. You tend to breathe a lot in your mouth, don't you?
Yeah.
And you gulp, you know. Breath is not energy or even, well, it is energy, but it's not like gasoline. It's not the power of the motor. Breath is sound that hasn't been heard yet. And you gather it for yourself to make yourself heard, right?
Right.
And if we think of breath too much as something we have to keep maintaining, then we're always rebuilding ourselves, it seems to me. And that's why this kind of ha, and it just feels like you're hammering this way rather than releasing up out of yourself. I think there's more easier voice inside of you. Because it's a very bright and very beautiful voice.
Thank you.
But I just, and then we get these barking things, you know, hi, hi, hi. You don't need any of that. The emphasis is inside of your emotion, as it were. Let's just start the first. Bum, ba, not too fast. Bum, ba, yum, ba, yum, bum, ba. It's pompous. Yeah. Breathe in your nose.
Vedro mentr'io sospiro, felice un servo mio.
Can you just try something? Now, I also talked a lot about every vowel we singing in singing. The difference between one of the big differences between singing and speaking is that when we speak, we separate vowels. How we separate them and the speed with which we separate them gives us the language. In singing, we essentially elongate that process, imitating the sound, the spoken sounds, but we do it by the fact that every vowel has every other vowel inside of it. And now, vedro mentr'io sospiro, right?
Yes.
We don't speak on pitch. So try this. Just go yang, 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 right?
Yang, 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 yang.
Yang, 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 yang.
Yang, 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 yang.
Yang, 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 yang. And only think of inhaling. Yang, yang.
Yang, 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 yang.
Now, are you watching my mouth?
Yes.
Does it move?
No.
Put your hand this way, right? Put your other hand here for mine.
Okay.
Yang, 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 yang. Yang, 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 yang.
Yang, 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 yang.
Fight it.
Yang,
Yeah.
yang.
But don't
Okay.
get tight. All you want to do is get higher.
Uh-huh.
Yang, and maybe not quite so loud. Yang, 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 yang. Yo.
Yang, 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 yang.
Yang, yang.
Yang, 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 yang.
Ah, did you hear that?
Uh-huh.
Did you feel that?
Yeah.
Did it feel like a little bit of a higher attic?
Yeah.
Now stay right here, as weird as this is, and sing the first phrase. Bum, ba, yum. No, he'll play it. Now breathe in your nose and your mouth.
Vedro mentr'io sospiro, felice un servo mio.
What is that like? Do you feel like you're just loading on?
No, it's just one continuous.
Is it easier?
Yeah.
Can you muscle memory? So much of what we do when we work on our voices is really about muscle memory. And I believe that we sing by radar a lot more than sonar. I think we must feel our voices more than hearing, because if you're dependent upon your hearing, you're going to be massively disappointed 99% of your time, because most of the places we sing is impossible. You need to know how your voice works inside. If this is easier and it feels even higher, but it feels more connected, this is the path you need to work on.
Okay.
Right? And I think it's more vertical, and I think if anything it's leaning back. Keep on going. Same thing.
En ben che fantasia, e possedere dovrà.
You're gonna love this. Do the same thing, and point just a little bit off, just a little bit this way. And as you, and just before as you take a breath, take one step backwards.
Okay.
Same thing. That was good, by the way.
En ben che fantasia, e possedere dovrà.
Keep on going.
Vedrò per man d'amore, unita un figlio oggetto.
When I push you, step back.
In me desta un affetto.
Step back.
Che per me poi non ha. Che per me
Step
poi
back.
non ha. Vedrò mentre io sospiro, felice un servo mio.
All right, now we're getting a track going. Now what I want you to do is get those E's and O's in the same cylinder.
Okay.
Mio, mio vedro mentr'io. Right? It's all a cylinder kind of thing. The reason why this works and is so dramatic in its effect is that to take a step backwards, your body has to know where the center is. Otherwise, it would look something like that, right? And when we step back, the spine lengthens, straightens, and says, I know how to balance because I'm going to let you step back. And why that effect is so dramatic is because when your spine lengthens, it does exactly what your body does, and it lets every rib come out separately and do what it's supposed to do this way. All you're doing is accentuating how your body is built. And that's why this thing of bending forward actually shuts down how our body is built. Our body has 12 pairs of ribs, and the only common thing they have is that they all come independently out of the rib and come out of the spine and circle around the body. They have different functions and relationships from the top down to the bottom, right? But when we step back, why he all of a sudden opens up is because we literally do this to the lung sacs when we step backwards. Ergo, when you're running out of breath, if you can, step back. But I can promise you one thing, don't lean forward, right? It just is not going to do it. If anything, lean back. Now, I wish somebody had told me this 20 years ago, right? So, you know, did you feel the difference?
Yeah.
Did you feel the release?
Yeah.
Did you guys hear the release? I mean, it's like a different voice. Well, it's not a different voice. We don't need a different voice. Good voice. Keep going. Step closer so you can walk backwards. Now, just now, let's work a little bit on getting that and this continual strength. You stand up nice and straight, and that's really more than half the battle. I would like more participation here and more breathing in your nose that will help you keep the vowels, every vowel being inside of every other vowel. Vedro, mentr'io, sospiro, felice un ser, me. Right?
Yeah.
They're all in that tube. All vertical. Not one damn thing in singing is horizontal. Okay. So if your mouth goes placid, which yours doesn't, but if it does, we've seen that a couple times a day, that's horizontal. That's what I'm talking about. If you bend over, that's horizontal. That cuts you in half like a magician. Right? Good. Go on.
Che per me poi non
Sorry. The other thing is, even in practicing, we all are too smart and too quick. A lot of people don't know that about singers, but it's true. Even when you're rehearsing, hear it. Breathe into that you want to make audible. Don't work on your voice. It's not like this. It's magic. Right? Okay. Hear it? Did you all hear how the K just had this beautiful vibrato, like a violist had just kind of done that to the string? This is the most fundamental, primary moment of singing. If that's not right, nothing else you do will be right. That is how fundamental that is. That was excellent, pure, and it was easier, right?
Yes.
It was more resonant, it was more beautiful, it made sense, we knew who he was, and we're starting to listen to him and not your voice. Right? Great. And all of that on a Tuesday afternoon. Again, hear it, breathe into it.
Che per me poi non ha, vedrò mentr'io sospiro, felice un serro mio, vedrò che il ben che io desio e i poserà. Vedrò
For you.
per me
For you. This is your heart. Damn her. Step back.
No, lasciarti pace.
Yeah? I'm saying, work your body. because your body is giving you so much information right now. I'm so glad we had this moment because I wasn't sure where to go with this because there was different ways we could go because you're very talented and very good. But listen to your body. Your body is giving you more information than I can give you. I've just started you going aha, right? And then you hear how much longer this is. It's rounder, bigger, longer, taller, all that stuff, right? All I wanted to do was, because you definitely want to move his account. I can feel it. Every fiber in your bone, you'd like to just go and rip his heart out. Good instinct. But what I want you to do is all this stuff that you want to do here, go ahead and do it in the pause. But when you're singing, you want to have this feeling, right?
Okay.
Hanno lasciarti in pace.
Okay, one more time. Time it a little better. Time it a little better. Good idea.
Hanno lasciarti in pace.
Now, what you can't, it's actually AH and not HI.
No.
Ah, no. Ah, no. And it's not about ah, it's about no. Ah, no. Ah, no. Ah, no. Ah, no. Lasciar. But the ah is an up bow. Ah, no. It's not ah, no. There you go. Breathe.
Hanno lasciarti in pace, nel poco sto contento, tu non nascesti audace.
Yeah? You know, when you start backing off, when you want to sing softer, you let yourself collapse. Just be softer. It'll be softer. And be sure, if I remember correctly here, because I'm a scorer, but if I remember there's accents on there. Ah, no, lasciarti in pace, non vo questo contento, tu non nascesti pam. Right? That's where you're going. But no. Don't close it off.
Okay.
Tu non nascesti audace, tu non nascesti audace.
Okay, you listed to your right foot as you went down the scale.
I did.
Don't have to do that. If anything, list backwards. I promise you, it's just a matter of, I know where you're at. As a singer, I mean, whether it's me or you, I know exactly what our instincts are. I get that. We just don't list off there. Go someplace else. But to do that, you have to release so many vulnerabilities. You have to release so much doubt. This movement is not easy. We know as singers what I'm talking about. A lot of them who aren't singers are kind of go, woo, what's that all about, right? Tu non nascesti tu non nascesti right?
Yes.
Tu non nascesti audace, tu non nascesti audace.
Yeah, but your feet got weak. Your feet got weak.
Yes.
Do it again.
This'll be
Do it again. You can do it.
Tu non nascesti audace.
You know, think of that phrase as the O being the top of the Christmas tree. Tu no, forget about the vowel. Forget about the consonants. No, that was a gulp. Hear it exactly how you want it to sound and breathe into that.
Tu non nascesti audace. Tu non nascesti audace, errare a me tormento, e forse ancor per ridere di mia infelicità.
Don't get short.
C'ha la speranza sola.
Stay up.
Delle vendette mie, quest'anima consola, e giubilar mi fa, e giubilar mi fa. Oh, che lasciarti in pace,
Don't lean forward.
non può questo contento.
Feet.
Tu non nascesti audace, errare a me tormento, e forse ancor per ridere di mia infelicità.
Go. Happy.
C'ha la speranza sola delle vendette mie, quest'anima consola, e giubilar mi fa, e giubilar mi fa, e giubilar.
right? It's not about up there. The top of our voices are It's like a cathedral. You know the phonetic symbol for is the hat, the cowboy hat, right? That's what the top of every voice is. You think we hear you sing we all go home very happy. It's not it's right? It's got o around it. It's got ooh in it, and it's going up into this thing up here, right? Jubilarmi fa, fa, fa. Sing fa. Think fa. I promise you, it sounds absolutely, we're in the world of harmonics here, right?
Okay.
Okay? Jubilarmi fa, and I won't mess with you this time. What I didn't want you to do is clamp down on it, right? Right.
Yes.
But it's not just this width thing. It's about staying here and releasing, right?
Okay.
Go back a phrase.
Mi fai
Is that
giubilare.
exactly what you wanted to hear?
The first note was. Okay.
Mi fai giubilare e giubilare.
Step back.
Mi fa.
Step
E giubilar mi fa. E giubilar mi fa.
Use the laugh. Yeah.